Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Beyond the Summit 2. Of course, you're watching the North American Hub presentation of the TI4 SEA Qualifiers presented by Monster. I'm Zyori, this guy's Basecamp, and we've got Zephyr versus XctN coming up.
So both teams are eliminated.
Yep.
At this point in the competition, they cannot advance to the out of the group stage portion. So I just want to see some fun picks.
Yeah.
I want to see some Meepo. I want to see some Pudge. I want to see some...
Well, Zephyr had a really bad day one, and they kind
Yes.
of... they pretty much put the nail in the coffin after their first day results, and they just had a really epic game against Scythe where they weren't the favorites coming in, but they actually did win. So even though Zephyr are already eliminated, they're still trying hard. They're still putting up good games, and their picks were a little bit interesting. They did an off-lane Rubik. There was a Rubik Rampage that game, actually. He got an
Sexy
Ag
Bambo.
Scepter.
Bambo
Dude,
Dodo.
Bambo, he was going ham that game. It was next level. But they had 3 supports. They had a Treant, a Rubik, and another support. I'm forgetting who it is now. But I just watched the game and I can't even remember it. But Rubik was in the offlane.
Disruptor.
So, Disruptor. Yeah, that's right. And they had a farming Naga Siren. So it should be interesting. I have not gotten to see much of XctN, though. Of course, Team Ninja Boogie, they were one that a lot of us had in our top 4s. But 1-7 right now. It's the bottom versus the bottom.
I think Gods put them to finish making it into the playoffs. Personally, I thought that they were guaranteed to be at the bottom of the of the standings, but I think that might have been, again, we talked about it a little bit before the qualifiers even started. It felt like a lot of us had just watched different games of different teams, so we all had a slightly different impression. But yeah, that was at least one of my predictions that I think was a little bit reliable. Everything else was kind of shaky, but that's just how the cookie crumbles in the SEA scene, unfortunately.
Yeah, I pegged XctN for a contender for like the 4th slot. I didn't think they would necessarily do well, but
massive
I thought they had
ties, maybe they make it.
Exactly. But no, they didn't live up to expectations on that front. Let's go ahead and hop into our draft here and see what these teams are working on, and I'll just get right on into it here. Zephyr versus XctN. They grab a Keeper of the Light with their first pick, and XctN, they pick up the Centaur and the Earthshaker with their first 2.
There is still pride in the line, of course, here, so still expecting to see these 2 teams take things fairly seriously.
Yeah.
At the very worst, it's a scrim, right? At the very worst, it's just an opportunity to maybe try something a little bit unusual. These teams will probably still be playing, there's still going to be other smaller tournaments going on over the course of the coming weeks, months. It's not like just because TI is on, everything else grinds to a halt. So if Zephyr have some stuff that they weren't 100%, or if either team has something that they weren't 100% sold on as far as 6.81 is concerned, but they wanted to try it out, this could be a really nice game to do just that. And I think that's what we're probably seeing here with the Keeper of the Light pickup. So
exactly.
I'm looking forward to it.
I was just going to comment. I've actually had the privilege of casting a fair bit of Zephyr through the past 2 days, and I have not seen them run Keeper of the Light, so this is already a little change of pace compared to what they've been up to in past days of SEA coverage. And they will go ahead and grab their Shadow Demon with their second pick as well. Nothing too crazy to get this draft started. Earthshaker, another hero I really haven't seen a hell of a lot of.
Personally, I don't think the high priority Earthshaker is
team pick.
like that inspiring. I think it's just kind of XctN maybe like, oh hey guys, what do you want to play at this game? And one of the support players is like, hey look, I like playing Earthshaker. Can we play some Earthshaker? So maybe in my wildest dreams, maybe we'll see a carry Earthshaker. Maybe get some big one shots on the Keeper of the Light at some point in this game. But no, probably not the case. Earthshaker, I think a hero that had a lot of potential to be first pick ban before they changed the Fisher pathing mechanics. There were a lot of pro players who were of the opinion that being able to block creeps into Ancients and into neutral camps was just absolutely broken, but we never really saw it happen that much. You did have to tailor your draft a little bit to make it work. Obviously, having one support occupied, trying to win your mid lane or win your off lane is a pretty significant investment. But personally, Earthshaker feels a little bit underwhelming compared to Sand King without all of that shenanigan potential that he used to have. But old school, the old school player in me says, well, maybe we're just going to be seeing Earthshaker here, protecting the Shadow Fiend at mid, just kind of staying out of experience range and making sure that he doesn't get ganked up too much. And I think we actually, in the game I was casting with Mott just before, we actually saw that out of, it was RRQ. They had a Shadow Fiend mid, they just had the Earthshaker sitting right behind him, for pretty much all the early game, making sure that he secured his farm and didn't get ganked up.
Yeah, and that Bloodseeker respect ban from XctN, 4th ban Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
Zephyr ran it in the last match that we just referenced against Scythe, so a hero that they're not afraid to run. I think in that match it was really a hard counter to the Storm. They were looking for a single target silence, and of course Rupture not too bad against those heroes that move all over the place. So I think that was more of an isolated kind of a niche pick there. Still interesting to see him kind of stepping up as more of a legitimate hero, at least ban-worthy in the eyes of XctN. Zephyr will settle on a 3rd pick Slark to go with their Shadow Demon and Keeper of the Light. And all right, they're definitely experimenting a bit here. Sky Wrath Mage for XctN.
Yeah, and it's not. I think it's pretty good here for XctN. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Sky Wrath Mage as either as a support or as a core, but could be. Could be that maybe XctN make a little bit of a case for him here. The long-range, single-target, long-duration silence is going to be nice against pretty much everybody over on Zephyr right now, so we'll keep an eye out for that. And with the Earthshaker and the Centaur's lockdown, they are pretty well positioned to get some good value out of that ultimate. So looking forward to seeing some Skywrath Mage played here.
Yeah, me too. I'm really not a fan of the support Skywrath, though. I think he's really good as a core, a solo mid-roll, or even a safe lane farmer if it's a relatively easy matchup for him. With farm, he's really scary, and I think he can actually carry momentum into the mid-game well, but I just don't love him as a support. It just seems it's too easy to lock him down, and yeah, he has some utility, but I feel like he needs some farm and experience priority.
Yeah, if you're picking him as a support, then you are pretty much just picking him for the silence. That's the story at the end of the day.
Yep. Very true. So we'll see how it works out for XctN. They will take their time with this final pick. It seems that Zephyr have assumed it will be a support Skywrath as they do ban out the Storm Spirit. But time will tell. They've got plenty of bonus time to burn through here. And we'll see exactly what they want to round off their roster.
Yeah, so conventional logic would dictate a core, either a safe lane farmer or a mid lane farmer. You can always put the Shadow Fiend on the safe lane, of course, if you feel that you want to pick up something else as far as meta is concerned. But again, I'm still rooting for the carry Earthshaker. So we'll see. Maybe that'll come out. Maybe that'll come out from XctN. Maybe we'll see something. Oh, okay. Well, I get at least one of my wishes fulfilled here.
Wow.
We are going to see the Pudge here for XctN.
Okay. Now I'm excited.
Woohoo!
Is this a Ninja Boogie Pudge? What's who's Ninja Boogie going to be playing here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. This will be. I don't know who their Pudge player is. That's really
it might be Ninja Boogie Pudge. He might be on the Shadow Fiend instead. And well, Zephyr just gonna round things off with an axe. So we got plenty of fun things to cast this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dunks, hooks, mystic flares, arrows.
I like this last pick from Zephyr as well. If they're assuming it'll be Pudge mid and they want to try and match him up against something he'll struggle, Axe does so well against melee heroes in general, but will definitely give Pudge a run for his money. Whoops, that would be the wrong overlay there. There we are. So, well, relegation match on our hands base kit, but we're going to have some fun nonetheless. We see smokes picked up aplenty by both sides on the Marana as well as on the Skywrath Mage. So both teams will be looking to be aggressive, and I am pumped up. Always glad to see teams that find that nice happy medium between experimenting and still taking things seriously.
Is it a relegation match or a relegated match?
Relegated? I don't know. I've always said relegation match.
I feel like relegation is I feel like, well, no, but like a relegation match is when the losing team gets pushed down to the bracket below, like they get knocked out, right? But both of these teams
is that what a relegation match means?
I think that's what it is.
I thought that term was just for when it doesn't really matter in terms of the standings. Like it's already been figured out. I don't know. That's how I just through context assume that's what it meant.
No,
I don't really know. But you're right. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, when Star Ladder was having relegation matches, it was for the teams that would move down from Star Series into the Pro Series. So maybe basically
okay. So if you have two divisions, a promotion match is when you are right at the top of Division 2 and you're trying to get to Division 1. And a relegation match is if you're at the bottom of Division 1 and if you lose it, you get demoted somewhere else. So.
All right, so I've been screwing the pooch on that one.
Well. It's
well, glad I know. For the future, I will no longer misuse relegation. Base Kip,
whatever.
You're saving me from disaster here. And
okay, so Zephyr are going for some shenanigans at level 1.
Yeah,
they don't even know if they want to let the Shadow Fiend get to the lane. They're going to place a ward down in between the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower. And they have 3 heroes ready to gank him right as the horn blows. So Zephyr don't want to deal with the Shadow Fiend at all. Yeah. And he got outblocked so hard. He is just straight up dead. There is no chance he survives.
Yeah, there's the disruption. They'll throw an arrow, illuminate, and this is the easiest first blood I think Zephyr have probably found this tournament. The 4-on-1 Shadow Fiend. And that will render the Execration defensive tri-lane a little bit useless here as things start out as Pudge is completely uncontested.
Roam time.
Yeah.
Again, let's just. Oh wait, are we gonna see it again? Oh. No, never mind. There is a Radiant Observer when spotting this out, but they're gonna.
The fake roam.
Yeah, they should have. They still have another smoke. They should have just gone over into these trees, and smoked up again. But they might still just get this kill regardless. I don't know if anybody else has a TP.
I mean, Blitz is diving this. He's moving towards the tier 2. Support coming in from the bottom lane, and
This is a stare down, but only one of the. I don't think I can actually see one another here.
Well, let's take a look at the vision. Dire, no, they don't see a hell of a lot.
Nobody has any idea where the other team is.
Radiant, nope, yeah, they're. This is a good old-fashioned sit-in. Everyone's just hanging out. Wait, and they're both in the same trees. Oh my God, is this DOTA?
How many heroes are mid? 7 heroes mid. Well, Purge tanking the tower. Gets fissured. He's gonna get raised. He's gonna just die straight up to the tower.
Oh, the hook falls a little bit short. Looking for Bambo on the high ground, but he's not over yet. And can this Pudge get in range for a rot? Maybe. Abbang coming around. Will be able to secure this kill onto Bambo as he moves into the trees. Rot connects. The Shadow Rays will be off the mark, but nowhere to go. So,
in the meantime, Corey did manage to pick up a solo kill on the Centaur up on top lane, so showing off his signature slug. And did we even introduce the teams? We got sidetracked on the relegation.
Yeah, between relegation and all of this early roaming, we did not introduce a single team.
So who do you want?
I'll take Execration here. And, oh, wait, we've got a contest for this bottom rune. It is a regeneration here at the 2-minute mark. Blitz uses the Berserker's Call, trying to take aggro off the rune. They'll pick it up, and now it's a 3-on-1. Support coming in from the bottom lane. Bambo charging up the Illuminate. Maybe he can help turn this around. Does some damage to Ninja Boogie. Won't be enough to make that a kill. Blitz does fall. Now Bambo on the run. Not enough mana for a hook. No bottle on the Pudge. They'll be forced to about face, and the rest of the forces will survive. So, okay, on the Radiant side, we've got Team Execration. It is Yui playing on the Earth Shaker. Ninja Boogie on the Pudge. We'll have Fox here on the Skywrath Mage in the mid. That is a Bang on the Shadow Fiend, and in the off lane, it is BG01 on the Centaur Warrunner.
Yeah, and very quickly over on Team Zephyr, we have the offlane player, Sexy Bambo, on the Keeper of the Light, heading towards mid. Blitz is going to be on the Axe. And then the tri-lane will be comprised of Eosin on the support Mirana, Purge on the Shadow Demon, and Corey is going to be handling his signature
I always love to see Purge playing Shadow Demon. I feel like the name just fits that hero so well.
Yeah,
the perfect player hero combination.
Oddly appropriate.
Yeah, but they will smoke up, rotate towards the mid lane here, and again, I think this Shadow Fiend will fall upon hard times. He's just farming away, but little does he know that.
Good positioning. He's on the correct side here, but.
Yep, Courier flying in. He's got a bottle. He's got boots, but he'll get Berserker's Call. There's well, the disruption. Arrow will be rendered ineffective as the creep wave comes in. So failed gank from Zephyr, a little bit sloppy, but Shadow Fiend does survive. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, saw it on the mini map, but didn't get there fast enough. Keeper of the Light will fall to the 3 heroes of Execration.
Yeah, where's Bambo? Where's the Quelling Blade? Doesn't have his network of tunnels set up. So unfortunately, he's not going to have that much fun as the offlane Keeper of the Light. Man fight going on here in the mid lane.
Yeah, double damage rune, long drain arrow from downtown will connect on the Shadow Fiend. That's a 5-second stun, more than enough to secure that one. And Zephyr get another kill on the board. That makes it 3-4 here at the 4.5-minute mark, and it's been kind of a bloodbath thus far. Golden experience graph starting to zero out as both teams are just picking up kills left and right. Ninja Boogie just about to hit level 5 down here in the bottom lane. Has not picked up a bottle on that Pudge, so probably looking to hit that level 6 dismember mark, and then we'll see him move around a little bit more.
So I know we mentioned that pride is on the line here, but just to reinforce that point, both of these teams are 1-7, so the loser of this match does go home with the title of the worst team in the SCA qualifier.
That's true. It is almost more than pride. It's the battle of who is not dead last, and there is something to be said for that for sure.
Meanwhile, Corey actually going to be killed off by BGO, one up on the top lane, so Centaur claims his revenge here. Nicely played by him, and XctN, kill lead for them so far.
Now in the bottom lane, they'll set up a kill onto Pudge. Disruption straight into Arrow. There's your Illuminate coming out. Connects on 2. And they'll have enough damage to bring down Ninja Boogie. Looking for the suicide perhaps. Can't find it. Now they'll turn on to the Sky Wrath. Taking plenty of damage. A nice fissure blocks it off. That'll keep Zephyr boxed out. Fox, and it will just be a 1-0 as Pudge takes a spill.
Yeah, and despite all of these ganks on the Shadow Fiend, he is actually still at the top of CS right now. So looks like the Shadow Fiend doing all right for himself. This top lane continues to be kill trades back and forth. The tier 1 tower has already disappeared somewhere, and Corey is going to be able to pick himself up a kill. So despite that 1 death for him, he is heavily leading in this top lane.
Yeah. Yeah, this top lane has been a bloodbath in and of itself. As Bambo in the bottom does put a lane ward down here. They do scout it out. No hook thrown from the Pudge, but now he's in range. Maybe he can grab Purge. No, instead he'll get disrupted. Arrow connects. Illuminate charging up. Too much damage for Ninja Boogie to handle between the Soul Catcher and the Shadow Poison. Everything else under the sun. They'll get another kill on the Pudge. That puts Ninja Boogie now 1, 2, and 1, slowing down a little bit of inertia he picked up early on. I guess momentum is probably the right word, but
if you're Pudge, you're like, what the hell is going on here? Why am I getting... He has the exact same thought that the Shadow Fiend had going through his head at level 1 North. Why am I getting 4-man ganked? Why am I getting 3-man ganked in my own jungle?
And he just gets chopped down. Double edge from BGO1, more than enough to secure that one. Now on the other side, Bambo, he's running into no man's land. Tier 2 tower in the mid lane still standing, and not too far for him to run. He will make it up to the Radiant Ancients, drops a ward down as well. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they'll just turn their focus onto Blitz. He's the target of choice, and Centaur makes it a double kill with double edge once again.
We have just devolved into like full 5-man Dota right now. A little bit of safe lane farming going on from the Pudge.
Yeah, this is what my pub games look like. This is this is pretty intense. Who's getting the edge out of all this early fighting? Zephyr do have about a 1,500 gold lead, but that's because they secured that top tier 1 tower kill. XctN have about a 500 experience edge, so still a rather even game. Blitz just sitting on Tranquil's bottle, Magic Wand, so doesn't have a huge amount of farm under his belt. In terms of CS, 28-2, yeah, getting beat pretty hard by that Shadow Fiend, who is our last hit leader, 42-9.
Yeah, I think as far as just in terms of advantage here, I think for Zephyr, I don't favor them for the late game unless the Slark gets absolutely massive to the point where he can just right-click down the Shadow Fiend pretty much all by himself. But it's basically Centaur and Shadow Fiend versus the Slark pretty much all by himself. Axe does have some reasonable scaling, but it's more team fight oriented than it is, beating a Shadow Fiend in a 1v1.
Hook onto Purge. He gets Shadow raised straight away. That's an easy kill for XctN. Makes it 8-6 as they look for another. Bambo. They see sexy Bambo. He'll run to the tier 2 in the bottom lane. Pudge TP's in, has a dismember ready, sipping up that bottle, has a hook, doesn't even need the dismember. And that'll be another easy kill for the Pudge. Ninja Boogie. No points in Flesh Heap quite yet, but storing up that strength for later. Up top, Yui, he could be in some trouble here. Wraparound coming, Invisible Axe. He is sitting level 7. No points in Battle Hunger, but he's ready to use that Culling Blade. It's chopping time. And there we go, initiation, Berserker's Call, Arrow connects. Where's the dunk? There it is. That's the blood splatter. And Zephyr, they'll get another one up on the board as well.
Okay, so we're just trading kills. Somehow everybody is just getting stuck in the Radiant jungle as well. Zephyr deciding that that's their territory. Yeah. This game, though, they are getting punished pretty heavily as XctN just keep on forcing them out. The Centaur is roamed away from top lane. And Corey not actually in trouble.
They burn the Stampede, looking for Corey. He pops the ultimate. He'll be okay for now. The rest of Zephyr coming through. They will TP to the bottom tower. Still no Blink Dagger on the Axe. Blitz is level 8, but no easy gap closer here, so he can't really initiate from far away. They'll smoke right in front of XctN, and not the sneakiest smoke we've ever seen.
Where did they go?
Amazing how they can just disappear like that without a Mirana, or with a Mirana. But little do they know, Mirana is not level 6 quite yet.
And yes, it's just mid lane hitting creeps right now.
Yeah, that's kind of a...
It is worth mentioning that Mirana as a support hero is pretty good at transitioning. So if you've got a safe lane farmer like the Slug, he can just pick up a couple of core items, say treads and a drum, and he can just start moving around the map, farming up, and you can give the safe lane over to the Mirana. So that is a little bit extra as far as the late game potential is concerned for Zephyr here.
Ooh, Slark coming in. Some wards coming out as well. Hook from the Pudge grabs the Skywrath Mage. That'll keep Corey alive. I think he scattered out the courier, was looking for it. And won't be able to grab the courier. Moonlight Shadow flies. There is a Radiant Sentry down. They did take out that Observer ward. And will come in handy here against this Moonlight Shadow. XctN, very defensive posturing here. Shadow Fiend, the only one not with him. It is a 4-man rotation, and they are all camped out in the trees behind the tower. Trying to force Zephyr into a dive, and, well, Zephyr won't hesitate too much. Corey just walks straight into it. He gets silenced, eaten by the Pudge. Arrow flies in, hits Fox as well. Now BGO1 pops the Stampede, taking a lot of damage, gets decapitated by the axe. Zephyr grabbed the first kill in this team fight. Abang comes in, throws out the Requiem of Souls, doesn't secure any kills, does a fair bit of damage though. Pudge trying to line up the hooks, and can't find one quite yet. Cancel casting coming from the Earthshaker. This is one hell of a long team fight here, base kit. Both sides just poking at one another, fearful of overcommitting. Arrow flies in, hits Yui. Now Aosin coming forward, looking to secure this kill. Meanwhile, around the backside, Corey comes through, finishes off the Skywrath Mage. This is looking like at least a 3-kill exchange for Zephyr. They can all stay alive. Now Corey gets dismembered. They'll be able to bring down the Slark in this trade. Earthshaker is actually still alive, but Pudge gets cut down by the axe. That's a double kill, the double dunk. Creep blocking him in. Buyback from the Pudge. He'll TP in. Ninja Boogie, he's hungry for vengeance. Has no dismember here, though. Blitz completely cornered. Nowhere for him to go. We'll get off the Berserker's call before he goes down. He falls, and Aosin trying to make the retreat gets picked off as well. So Zephyr, sexy Bambo. He gets slowed up by Fox. There's the ultimate. And will they have enough to bring him down? Yes, BGO1. No Blink Dagger. He'll move.
He's got a Quelling Blade. He can Quelling Blade through. He's going to live. Sexy Bambo Dota.
Oh, he throws the Illuminate out. All right, he survives. So chaotic exchange, but I think Zephyr are the ones that come out ahead, even though they did get cleaned up at the end. Pudge did buy back to make that happen.
Yeah, what am I even watching here? Sorry, I'm not sure anymore. Non-stop 5-on-5 deathmatch bottom lane. Ninja Boogie waiting to see if he can pick up a kill. He just jams it in on Bambo, dies immediately. Now BGO1 in some trouble.
Yeah, he'll get pounced upon. Leash does, Pounce does leash. And they will be able to finish off the Centaur as he tries to stampede away. Meanwhile, Ninja Boogie and Blitz, they're just going hard on one another. He'll TP home. Blitz already burned the Berserker's Call, and no way to interrupt him from there. Creates some space for the Shadow Fiend, though. He picked up a double damage rune. We'll finish off the tier 1 tower mid. And I like that Abang went for the Hand of Midas. He's had a lot of room to farm, now level 11. And leading the way on net worth, pretty big margin, 6,500 compared to the 4,800 of Blitz on that axe.
What is Shadow Fiend tryharding? What is?
Yeah,
what is this?
Come on, Shadow Fiend.
Buying Midas, hitting creeps, not participating in the deathmatch. It does give XctN a lot of insurance as far as its late game is concerned, and I think it is going to be Abang who's probably going to end up carrying them through this. Zephyr just going to keep on trying to 5-man, keep on trying to find some more dunks if they can, but they're pretty much ignoring the other lanes right now in favor of just continuing to stay down bottom. So we'll see how that works out for them as the fights continue.
Ninja Boogie, he'll get set up upon by the disruption. Arrow does connect. In comes a fissure from the Earthshaker. Throws out a dunk, but not enough to keep the Pudge alive. They'll be the first to fall. Moonlight Shadow deployed. Zephyr looking to press forward. They won't find an opening, and they'll just settle for some creep. Now, I like the insurance policy from the Shadow Fiend, but Zephyr are just starting to hit their mark. They've got a great mid-game team, and they are unrelenting in their pressure. Abang coming forward, has a Shadow Blade. Looking to throw out that Requiem of Souls, but it won't happen. Mystic Flare deployed as well. Zephyr with all 5 still alive. They will choose to retreat.
Yeah, they knew that the Invis Shadow Fiend was there after the Mystic Flare because they threw an arrow and it actually hit the SF. So there was a lot of spam pinging going on from ESN saying, hey, look, there's actually something there. We just can't see him. So they back off. They're playing a little bit more cautiously, and they probably will have put 2 and 2 together and suspected there's a Shadow Blade over on the SF right now.
Yeah, Pudge looking to line up the hooks, but again, won't find it as everyone just backs up to safety. Bambo hiding around in the trees. Channel some Illuminates here, perhaps. Still no point in the spirit form, which is kind of interesting. Just going all illuminate chakra magic.
Yeah, Bambo knows that the Shadow Fiend is around because he just found the edge of the presence of the Dark Lord.
Ah, yes, very good. And here was the initiation onto Corey. He takes a lot of damage. The defensive disruption comes out. That'll keep him alive for now. Pudge coming in. He'll survive it. And oh, the damage from Zephyr. It's a 1 for 4. Pudge about to go down as well. It's a 1 for 5. What an explosion of damage. Sexy Bambo helping to make it possible, but wow. Just wow. Where did all that damage come from?
That illuminate from Bambo.
That was all the illuminate? Yeah, was that just straight
well, and some spins. I mean,
wow.
Blitz jumped in. He called for the illuminate, set them up perfectly. Illuminate plus 1 or 2 spins on all of those heroes. None of them are particularly tanky at this point, and
yeah,
there you go. That was just a great team fight for Zephyr, and well, I guess this 5-man strat is working out. Are they getting close to that Aghanim Scepter on the Keeper of the Light? They're not that far away, so they're going to have the sustain for these pushes coming up pretty soon as well, and somebody needs to alert Cinderin. The Coddle Ags alert is in full force.
Well, Sexy Bambo will pay for his heresy. He'll get chopped down and, well, slows down that Ag Scepter a little bit more. Still a very convincing team fight. Zephyr, pretty sizable lead. Now about 4,000 gold, 3,000 experience, and they are looking to be in okay shape, at least for this mid-game. As you pointed out, they don't really have the carry advantage, but they've done a good job shutting down this Pudge and also knocking down towers around the map. They did finish off that tier 2, and that does take the total tower count now 1, 2, 3 in favor of Zephyr. Still a tier 1 standing. They really haven't put much pressure on that mid lane tower. But Moonlight Shadow, they will try and go in onto the Shadow Fiend here. As you mentioned, presence of the Dark Lord is usually a telltale sign that there's a Shadow Fiend inbound. He will reveal himself. And maybe they can set up a kill after all. Blitz has a Blink Dagger. Berserker's Call. Arrow connects. Starstorm, plenty of damage as he gets dunked. And Shadow Fiend will take an unfortunate death.
Yeah, and the SF just hasn't really gotten any value out of this Shadow Blade. So.
Look at this Shagbark. His name is Pinoy.
Oh, yeah?
That's funny. Is that like a name tag, or is that what he's called if you buy him? And
no. So if you rename, yeah. So if you rename a ward or if you rename a courier, then it shows up as their actual title name. So it's pretty cool. You can get some cute stuff going on. A lot of teams have they have the one support that always buys the courier, so that support typically has a really tricked out courier. So
I see.
That's always something cute to watch out for.
I forget which tournament it was. It might have been in Star Ladder, but I remember those camera awards were put out. The Brazzers Sex Cam.
The Brazzers, yeah, that was another good one. I think that was that VP?
It might have been. Yeah,
I think that was
Star
VP.
Ladder. That was really funny. That was. So we kept clicking on him throughout the game. There was just one point about in 45 minutes in, just like, does that word say Brazzer Sex Cam on your screen also? Is that some sort of a visual bug? That was just too much. Oh, Ninja Boogie. He's chucking in the hooks, but it's just not enough. Fox has taken 2 Illuminates now. He's already pretty softened up. Corey does get disrupted. He'll survive. Pony's coming through once again. And both sides just sort of poking at one another. Hook flying through, grabs Blitz, pulls him into tower range. But he pops his blade mail. He'll be okay. Arrow flies in, hits a creep. Fissure slows down 3. The follow-up just isn't there. Bambo still on the high ground. Ninja Boogie looking to set up the hook, but has no mana for it. Coddle needs to be a little careful here. Bambo moving into the trees, utilizing that Quelling Blade. And he'll be just fine.
Bambo's just been spamming from the ridge for like 2 minutes now. But nobody has gone up there to try and do anything about him.
He almost killed the Skywrath in that fight.
So sneaky Bambo.
Sneaky Bambo.
Yeah, well, look, he has not been discovered. So nicely played from him. Zephyr just going to kind of keep the 5-man going on, but XctN, they're not really matching up very well to Zephyr as far as the full 5-on-5 team fights are concerned right now, but the Shadow Fiend has been participating in the fights instead of split pushing, so Zephyr getting exactly what they want out of the last few minutes.
Yeah, and we'll see initiation perhaps. Moonlight Shadow used. Ninja Boogie on the high ground has been identified. See some pings coming out. Looks like they are a bit suspicious for the wraparound from Zephyr. And they won't go for it quite yet. Maelstrom now picked up on the Slark, so he's starting to come online a little bit.
Poor Earthshaker, he's dead. Bottom lane. Blitz just chasing him down with the hunger.
So, Illuminate in the mid was channeling. I thought this fight was going to break out. And now, Corey coming in. He will get silenced right away. That's That slows him down just a little bit. Disruption set up on the Centaur. And this tower will start taking some damage from the illusions. They'll kind of just slow siege. The Bang throws out the Requiem of Souls. Does a little bit, trying to chase down Bambo. He'll move to the high ground, actually. And Shadow Races won't be on the money. Hooks flying aplenty. And they just can't secure any kills here. On the other side, Blitz trying to pull him into position for the Illuminate to do some damage. Connects with 2. Continuing to soften them up. Fox, now he'll fall as Corey hops back in. A Bang, he gets picked off as well. It's a 2-0 for Zephyr so far. BGO1 trying to chase down the Slark. They will get a kill onto the Shadow Demon. Blitz coming in, looking to find some vengeance on his good friend. And that he'll do. He finds Ninja Boogie. Arrow flies through off the mark. He gets the deny, or the suicide rather. BGO1 not so lucky. He falls to the wrath of the Slark. Or Yui, the lone survivor on the Earthshaker. He will make it back past the tier 2, but won't be able to keep his tier 1 tower standing.
As clowny as Zephyr's lineup looks, it's actually just really strong at this point in the game. Clark loves these skirmishes, as does the Axe. Blitz is going to go down to the tower, but they managed to get the Earthshaker in return. And yeah, things looking pretty damn good for Zephyr. It's just been absolutely chaotic fights, but the coordination has been pretty good.
Yeah, and I think Sexy Bambo has kind of been the standout player in terms of positioning himself to set up these Illuminates. Corey secures an easy kill on the Skywrath Mage, but yeah, especially in these last 2 skirmishes with the Keeper of the Light just kind of flying around up on the high ground here. He did so much damage in those fights, and yeah, now things get a little more scary. Zephyr aren't done yet, though. They truly are unrelenting. They're stationed around in this mid lane, ready and willing to reinitiate. Especially now that they have that sustainability from the Illuminate. It's not daytime, but they will have it these upcoming fights. Shadow Fiend looks like he wants a BKB up next. Has an Ogre Club, but still pretty far off the money.
Yeah, they're only a couple of minutes away from having that, having daytime for a while, and they'll just be able to continue pushing and team fighting non-stop from there. As far as vision is concerned, both teams a little bit lackluster, but if you look at the wards from XctN, you can see this is about where they were 5 or 6 minutes ago, and they are now kind of pinned back all the way behind their tier 2s. So the 5-manning from Zephyr has been paying dividends, and I don't see any reason for things to change anytime soon. Ninja Boogie, he's had a couple of really nice plays so far this game. There was that one moment bottom lane where he managed to hook back the Earthshaker, I believe, and then kill off Corey under the tower, but he's just getting focused in every single fight, and unfortunately hasn't really been able to find a whole lot of farm. Also, Pudge, not that amazing as far as these full 5-on-5s are concerned. And Corey knows that somebody is here because he doesn't have his passive. So he's a little bit suspicious that there's either a ward or a hero in the vicinity.
Yep, they don't have ward coverage. Actually, no, they don't have ward coverage on that top rune, so they don't know it was an invisibility. And, ooh, Blitz actually off the mark with that Blink Berserker's Call, looking to grab the Shadow Fiend. They know it's on cooldown. This could be an opportunity to go. A Bang will start it off. And in comes the Pudge. Will throw out a Dismember, maybe. No, not quite yet. Ninja Boogie just gets dropped by Corey. In comes Yui, though. Drops the dunk, and that secures the kill onto Slark. Moonlight Shadow keeps Axe alive with double-digit hit points to spare. Centaur even joining the party now, but Blitz, whoa, he blinks. He reveals himself. He gets double-edged, and not really sure what that one was all about. We see Blitz. Maybe he's not so sure either.
Yeah, Blitz was that was a couple of questionable blinks from Blitz there. And bottom lane,
Rut-row. Sexy Bambo. He'll get initiated upon, but maybe he can turn things around. Mana Leak will set up the stun. BGO1 now TPing in. Does have a Stampede available, and Bambo will try and TP home. He'll make it. There you go.
That blinding light was so sick. He bounced the Centaur away from him as he tried to go for the hoof stomp.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was intentional from Bambo, but either way, absolutely massive play. He's going for a Veil of Discord over on his Keeper of the Light right now, so we have the full DPS total right now, and just fights breaking out all over the map. Eosin going to get jumped, but Ninja Boogie dropping pretty low. Can he actually finish this one? No, Eosin slams it in with the arrow.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie's just so underfarmed now. All he has is an urn and brown boots. It's bad news, Bears. He takes almost more damage
Second
from
poorest person in the game.
Yeah, he takes more damage from the rod than he puts out, I think, at this point. It certainly seemed like it in that initiation there. Down bottom, Shadow Fiend could get initiated upon. Courier, yeah, it's got a BKB recipe on it. Bambo looking to make the pick off. Corey doesn't throw the pounce. Still a chance they could grab it, perhaps. No. Pinoy Shagbark will make it back to the well.
Yeah, that's actually the BKB recipe on the Shadow Fiends. So, well, on the Courier for the Shadow Fiends. A pretty important that it doesn't get picked off there. Zephyr just continuing to maintain map control. They've got that daytime in effect now as well, so they can just really start gearing up for the 5-man to continue. Blitz also working his way towards an Ag, and Shadow Fiend looking for the Requiem pickoff here.
And he'll channel it. Does do a fair bit of damage to the Mirana, but support is inbound, and, well, he pays for his greed there. Ends up being an easy kill on the Shadow Fiend. Still a little bit surprised to see Zephyr with no detection. They don't have Sentry's Dust or a gem, but they've been doing pretty well without it. Setting up the bait right there with the Shadow Fiend. They grab a kill. Now it's daytime. Perfect time to push with this Keeper of the Light, and they'll do just that.
I think Eason is unimpressed at Bambo. So Bambo is just channeling an Illuminate, and Eason didn't quite manage to get in front of it to get the heal. So yeah, this time around Eason's like, okay, look, buddy, I'm getting this heal, no matter what happens, and does grab it that time.
That heal is just massive.
Yeah, it's actually really amazing if you can get this Aghanim Scepter up on the Keeper of the Light. So Zephyr, they've got the sustain for this push, and well, Corey gets 4 steps forward, but Ninja Boogie will be able to retreat into the base.
Yeah, blinks upon blinks here. Blitz, the last one to hop in, gets silenced right away. A big dunk from Yui does a lot of damage to Corey and Aosin. Mirana will fall to a long-range hook. Corey pops the ultimate, goes straight in onto the Centaur. Illuminate comes through, and that will be a 1-for-1. Instant buyback from the Mirana. Blink forward from Blitz onto Yui. Mystic Flare flies, but basically off the mark. And now XctN starting to repel. The Slark hopping back in, and it will be to his death. Not sure what Corey's plan was with that one, but it will not work out for him in the end. Now the rest of Zephyr on the retreat. Beautiful hook from Ninja Boogie. Secures the kill onto Purge. Blitz coming back in. Blinding Light. Arrow from the Mirana. They'll finish off the Skywrath Mage as well as the Shadow Fiend. Now they'll go on to Ninja Boogie. He's got a Blink Dagger. It'll be enough to keep him alive. Yui comes in and it'll finish off Blitz with a Fissure and Chant Totem combo. Now, only so many places for him to go. The Illuminate. Oh, that'll finish him off. Another nice hook from Ninja Boogie. Leap from the Mirana, and then the Force Staff. Dismember is available. But will he get it off? No, doesn't even need it. Secures the kill on the Mirana. And now Sexy Bambo just playing Ring Around the Rosie, healing himself here with the Illuminate. He can survive this one. Not looking so good. Dismember comes out, double edge, hoof stomp, and the haha from Fox for good men.
you win this round. That was such clowny play from Zephyr. They're like, oh, hey guys, we're pushing tier 3 bottom. Never mind. Dive the tier 3 mid. Dive the tier 2 mid. Keep fighting. Don't stop. Trade kills. What do we have? We have 60 kills in 27 minutes. This is just... yeah. This is pretty clowny from both sides.
Yeah, clown Dota at its finest here. And
yeah. Okay, so Purge didn't get the memo. He's gone. It's not. He doesn't realize it's a pub game. He has bought Dust of Appearance.
All right, he's got Dust.
We do have anti-invis now.
All right.
For Zephyr. So
getting too serious here, Purge. You better watch out. Shadow Fiend continuing to use his Hand of Midas. He's got a BKB. He's still been playing pretty straight up as well. Oh man, this is still anyone's game for the taking, but Zephyr holding on to a pretty sizable lead. The Veil of Discord is now being completed on the Keeper of the Light. So Kodal, he's going to be doing even more damage. I don't think I've actually seen a Veil of Discord picked up on the Keeper of the Light quite yet.
Yeah, I think this is a first for me as well. At least as far as competitive play is concerned.
Yeah. And Slark now has his Mjolnir as well as an Ogre Club, so good possibility he'll just move straight into a BKB now, I think.
Yeah. I also feel a little bit bad about calling this a competitive game. Like...
yeah.
Oh well. It's still very entertaining. I like Zephyr's draft a lot. I think that you could draft this and just execute a little bit differently and still be going for this kind of 30-minute GG. Like, I don't think there's necessarily anything about Zephyr's draft that's strange. It's just we've got a lot of diving. We've got a lot of non-stop team fighting going on.
It's the diving. It's the 5-manning. The whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got a couple of nice items coming up here and there. The Aghanim Scepter is going to be up over on the Axe pretty soon, so stronger dunk for Blitz in a little bit. He's also just about to reach level 16, so a huge boon for him there. Pipe completed for the Centaur, which is definitely going to help against all of this Bambo Illuminate spam. And we've got so much... We've actually got a lot of vision, though only really over the Radiant side of the map right now. With all the team fighting that's been going on, the supports have actually stocked up... Yeah, they've stocked up wards. No Roshan allowed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ninja Boogie is trying to lay down the rules here.
Anything he can do here. It's my team. Blame them.
Tryhards. See, okay, so everybody's on the same page here. We're calling out the tryhards. Ninja Boogie's calling out the tryhards. Blitz is calling out the tryhards. Blitz takes the Aegis. That seems pretty disingenuous of him. He's like, oh yeah, we're not doing Roshan. I don't agree with my team, but I'll gladly take the Aegis, guys.
But yeah, if they're gonna do Rosh, there's an Aegis on the ground. I guess I'll pick it up. That's
if Roshan were to happen to die,
yeah,
then I guess I would just have to take the Aegis here.
Yep. Shadow Fiend, he'll get off his Lothars. He'll be okay. They throw down a sentry, get a counter ward of their own, and
Mask of Madness.
Ready to fight. Uh-oh, Shadow Fiend ready to lay in the right clicks. Blitz. Gonna line up the initiation. He'll find Fox. Berserker's call. Follow-up damage. Shadow Poison. There's the dunk. That's a dead Shadow Demon to get things started. And BGO1. Maybe the next target of choice. No, it's gonna be Ninja Boogie. They'll find him, they'll stun him, and they'll take him down. He'll do an instant buyback, though. Now Blitz diving to tier 2. Grabs Execration Centaur. Requiem of Souls comes out from the Shadow Fiend as he falls. And they will be able to get the kill onto the Centaur after all. Yui comes in with a dunk of his own. Does secure a kill onto the Slark, but it will be at the cost of his own life. And now Pudge, the lone defender. It won't be a dieback for him, but Zephyr get a 2-for-4 exchange. They get healed up, and now Creeps will push into this tier 2 tower, which I think they will finally secure.
Yeah, so Zephyr do end up losing a couple there. Aegis goes down as well, but again, it's more dives. Unfortunately, the Shadow Fiend got called before he could do anything, so that was not the best team fight from him. But I think if the Shadow Fiend gets slightly better positioning, they do have a chance to maybe win a team fight here, pop off that 9-second BKB, you know, hammer some people down with the Mask of Madness. Then, okay, Fox is unimpressed. He's like, try hard SF. What is going on here?
I'm a YOLO player. I need it. Oh boy. And Coddle now has a Rod of Atos. Keeper of the This is one of the richest Keeper of the Lights I think I've ever seen. Bambo is tangoing with the top. He's only 600 gold behind a Shadow Fiend that's had an early hand of Midas. So he is farming like a madman. Looks like Zephyr will just move forces up to the top lane and take out the last remaining outer tower here for Execration. It's already quite low, so it will be a pretty easy push for him. A Blink Dagger on Mirana. There is a first time for everything, base Kip.
Massive mobility items coming out for Eosin, so he should be very elusive at this point. What else do we have going on? Blitz, if he auto-attacks the Skywrath Mage once, or maybe twice, can actually dunk him. So it is a hard life being Fox.
Yeah,
right now. Oh, and an arrow. Ninja Boogie just gives it away there.
Yep, he gets Mana Leak, makes for easy arrow setup. Yui now gets initiated upon. Mystic Flare comes out, but the damage is just lackluster. Defensive Disruption buys him some time. Ninja Boogie blinks forward. Can't find a Dismember. He's on the retreat, and he will fall. He already burned his buyback. He's in the grave for 75 seconds. Tier 2 tower has gone down. Now the Tier 3 will be fair game. Blitz's already been popped by the Radiant side. Blitz, he is going YOLO after all. Big Requiem of Souls coming out from the Shadow Fiend. It'll be enough to get the kill on Corey. They've already lost their Skywrath Mage. Centaur maybe next to go down. He's been veiled of Discorded. And Bambo trying to do as much damage as he can. Yui comes in with the dunk on the Blitz, but it just isn't enough. The Death Requiem of Souls pops as well, but Blitz still with plenty of hit points to spare. Corey did buy back. He's rejoined the party, and actually didn't go BKB. He just picked up Assange following that Mjolnir.
These clutch Illuminate heals from Bambo have been absolutely on point. He's really been keeping his team's 5-man push and 5-man fight fueled at all times. And Zephyr looking like they're going to be in position to just clean up a lane of racks here, no problem. They've completely overwhelmed Execration. Looks like clown style is their style.
Yeah, for sure.
Top barracks are under attack.
So that's a lane of racks down. Zephyr one step closer to sealing the deal. About 14,000 gold, 12,000 experience in their favor. They'll rotate towards the mid lane. Execration have already burned their big buyback. BGO1. Oh man, he just hops in by himself and gets destroyed by Zephyr. Mystic Flare was deployed as well, but only so much a Skywrath Mage can do.
Another hook, Ninja Boogie, but not going to result in the kill. Actually just going to end up resulting in his own death as Blitz hammers home the chop. Fox going to try and escape, but no such luck. Gets finished off. Double kill for Blitz. More illuminates, keeping Zephyr looking very healthy.
Look at this. A Bang just trying to pull him out of the base. He won't be successful. Well, it's not a fair statement. He'll pull him out of the base, but it will be at the cost of his own life. He gets dusted. He gets taken down, and Sexy Bambo gets another one up on the scoreboard. This Coddle, 4, 6, and 16. Reported, says Fox, as they lose their mid laner, Brad.
Yeah, Blitz needs that Bloodstone. He doesn't have enough mana to keep dunking people. Actually, though, Bambo just needs to keep giving him Chakra Magic.
Yep.
Okay, so what do we got? We got some
KEL, please revive IX Mike. Is that the Korean Elite League?
That is the Korean Elite League.
Was that actually a thing?
I
know of NEL, I know of EEL. I have not heard of KEL, but I don't have my fingers on the pulse of the... Whoa! The Korean scene. Yui, he sets up the kill onto the Shadow Demon. Does a lot of damage. Maybe XctN can actually make a hold here. Illuminate flying through. Earthshaker will go down. The heal is just too much. The sustainability from Zephyr is uncanny. Arrow flies through, finishes off the Ninja Boogie. Skywrath Mage gets picked as well. It is a lone Centaur defending. See some of that schmack talk coming out. And that is a full 5-man wipe. G to the G. There we go.
What was your favorite play of the game, Zaire? I want to give Ninja Boogie props. There was a moment in that bottom fight, and I tried to bring it up earlier, but we didn't have enough time to talk about it, where he hooked the Earthshaker away from the Slark into the trees, and then he walked to the entrance of that juke point so that he could dismember Corey right as he tried to walk in to finish off the Earthshaker, and actually managed to kill him off. So props to Ninja Boogie for his pudge. I think it's actually a hero that he plays quite a bit, and well, nice to see a little bit of camaraderie back and forth between these two teams. It was just a bit of a fun game. We got to see some more Coddle Aghanim Scepter. The heal is, I think, certified legit. So there you go. And it turns out that Zephyr are not the worst team in the SEA.
That will put XctN at the very last position. I think their final score will be 1-8, and Zephyr will end 2-7. So this was the battle for last place, and Zephyr comes out ahead on that front. So does Zephyr actually have another game to go? I thought they were 1-7 coming into this.
No. So they were 2-6 coming into this.
Oh,
because
okay.
They beat Scythe in the Nagastan Bloodseeker game, and they
it wasn't updated from that last game.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't completely updated.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
I was about to say, oh, Zephyr Blitz narrowly avoided having to shave his eyebrows off and frost his tips before coming to TI, but they actually took 3 games. So
yeah,
pretty good performance there from Zephyr, showing that they did deserve, I think, to be be included in this qualifier. But again, that was not a match that had any real bearing as far as playoff contention.
Obviously, very clowny, some different style drafts. The Zephyr draft, like you mentioned, wasn't that outlandish. XctN with Skywrath Mage and Pudge doing things a little bit differently, but having some fun, exchanging words back and forth. And fair disclaimer, there were some...
Don't let the noob win. Oh, chat.
I'm glad they stepped up the chat. Chat was going ham on us for flaming the clowniness and insulting the integrity of these players, but then the all chat made it quite clear that they were indeed messing around a little bit. So that's one of the parts of the group stages. When you get to those last few matches, you usually have a pretty good handle on whether you're at the top of the group, whether you're at the bottom of the group, and it can lead to matches like this. I'm glad the teams could have some fun. But we're getting towards the tail end of the SEA qualifier, at least the group stages. The playoffs shall begin soon, and, well, for the sake of keeping you all up to date, what's the latest on tiebreak scenario here, Basecap? Is it looking like we'll have tiebreaker matches?
It is looking like... So tiebreakers are still possible, but...
How many games do we have to go? It looks like there will be a Arrow versus Scythe match still to go on BTS 1 coming up in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, so that's the...
Is that the final game, actually?
That's the final game of the scheduled matches.
Okay.
And that game actually has no bearing because Arrow are number 1, I think.
Regardless.
Well, they're 1 or 2 no matter what, and Scythe are eliminated.
So we're still waiting on matches this round that haven't finished up to decide.
The matches this round, I think Myth Trust versus RRQ by the looks, it actually resulted in a win for RRQ, which means they drag Mythtrust down with them, and Mythtrust are not going to be able to advance. So Mythtrust end up being 5-4 overall as their final result, and so now we're waiting on the result of MVP
versus Mineski
and Orange versus First Departure.
And both of those games are still live right now. I believe on the main stream it was Mythtrust versus RRQ. So that means the two streams are BTS 3 right now, and you want to head over to High Ground TV to check out the last few matches, guys. I'm Zyori. This guy's Basekip. Give us some love on Twitter at ZyoriTV, at Basekip, and of course at Beyond the Summit. Thank you for joining us, guys, for the NA Hub.